Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, a big show coming your way tonight. And I tell you what, is it really a few days before December?
Yeah.
Or a week or so?
It doesn't
is
feel like it.
No, I'm done with this.
What the?
Yeah.
I at 5 o'clock this morning, I heard the heater come on.
Yeah, I've had enough.
And I've gone, are you serious? Yeah. 10 degrees in the car when I get in the car to go to work.
Yeah, it's no good.
It is unbelievable, and I'm sure everyone at home is feeling the same thing. It's just unbelievable. I said to you on radio on Saturday morning, Adam, trout season really hasn't started, has it?
No, and it won't start until we stop getting a little bit of rain.
Yeah.
Which, listen, it does mean we will, fingers crossed, have an extended season once the rain stops and the water starts to subside. But the more rain we get, the longer it's going to take to clear up. It's sort of a little bit concerning. We might get a trout season the day before it closes.
Although there is always one person out there to prove you wrong. Catherine Greck, head of Better Boat in Victoria, fished with Charlie May, no stranger to Talking Fishing, who is an absolute great guide. And they had a 4-kilometre hike into the Kabungra River, which is, I think, out the back of Mount Hotham. Yeah. KG said crystal gin clear water and big fat trout. So if you're prepared to find the water like that, I guess, well, good on you, KG and Charlie May, I tell you what.
For a 4K hike, it wouldn't be good fishing. It
would be good fishing, wouldn't it? Yeah. And I think it was downhill on the way in.
Yeah,
I'd be worried about
the way back.
Something like that, but good on KG. I know people write into us and say the people at Better Boating have no idea, but KG boats and fishes and
she's done more fishing than I have.
Yeah,
in the last
exactly. Yeah, and Niki, of course, the bay, particularly up this end of the bay. I mean, still very, very dirty. I mean, big downpours again during the week. You know, it's weekend.
Stop.
And
no. It's just so murky. I guess we just need it to clear a bit.
Yeah. Again, going back to the radio, Adam, we talk to Zach Cross at Queenscliff every week. He's saying, I think the dirty water offshore out to Barwon is in 70 metres of water, which is a fair way out. But you get through that. He's been catching some good snapper and early reports of kingfish as bycatch.
That was almost more interesting. Yeah, that was almost more interesting than the snapper. There's been a couple of rat kings caught, legal kings, I should say. He did specify that they were legal kings that were picked up off the bottom. So that's great signs going into what we hope will be summer.
A good kingfish season. I wonder if they're out on that man-made reef just yet. We'll have to wait and see.
They'd have to be sussing it out,
They'd have to be looking at it.
Can I just say, this is bad on my part, right?
Yeah.
Twice I've tried to find it and I couldn't find it. I don't know if I got the GPS marks wrong or not, but I've sounded around. I can't find it. And there's 16 modules.
There's 16 of them. Yeah, that's right. It's a big area. You're sounding right in the middle.
And you know what? You're always on we went offshore 3 Sundays ago. Yeah. And we go. We did no good, but we come back in and we go, let's get on the whiting grounds, which we did, and we did all right. But you're always in a hurry, and when you're trying to find something in a hurry, it's no good. So anyway, they're yelling at us. Folks, let's have a look at what's being caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
The thing I love about snapper season is the big whiting. I always say that, don't I?
There's plenty around.
Let's have a look at the first one. This is John Longcarrick. I think I've got that right. It's his PB, 47 centimetre whiting on the middle spit.
Oof.
We're seeing some big whiting being caught. It's good. Very good. During snapper season, it's always good to see the gummies coming in. Have a look at this. Luke McPherson. Good to see the kids out. A 6 kilo gummy from the western entrance.
Lukey, good fish.
Nice work.
They're a clean looking fish, gummies. Never see an average looking gummy, do you?
No. And you know what? Such a big bycatch of gummies in Western Port at the moment.
Yeah.
There's heaps around. I haven't seen a heap online.
you get the odd one in Port Phillip as a bycatch. Like, we're not seeing a lot of that. But I tell you what, there's been a couple from down like that Mornington, Mount Martha way. So maybe the gummies are making a bit of a comeback down that way.
I hope so. Be good.
But Western Port, the catches have been remarkable of gummies as bycatch for the snapper guys. So.
And there's been some good ones too. That sort of 12, 15 kilos. I've seen a few of them pop up on socials.
I'd take that over a big snapper, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I tell you what, it's time for Port Phillip to shine as well. Indented head, let's start over in the west. Liz Turchett, I think I've got that right. Turchett.
Liz.
Lizzie, good fish.
54 centimetre. Good looking
snapper.
It's a beauty.
Great photos.
Cracking photos coming up, I'm telling you. Let's stay up the top end now. Chris O'Connell got a lovely snapper from Williamstown. Have a look at this.
Beauty.
Chris,
yeah.
Good
fish.
looking.
How big you reckon that is?
3 to 4,
3 kegs?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.5 kegs.
I reckon.
It's good fish. The water doesn't look too bad in the background. There, does it?
No.
Williamstown?
Now, don't forget, some of these come from the last 2 weeks because we had a special episode last
It's
week.
been raining for about 12 weeks.
Yeah. Some had 2 days of snapper fishing in that.
I'll mention that in a minute. All right, Clara Nakic. Let's have a look at this one. 7.4 kilos.
Oh, here we go. What
Clara,
a ripper.
I'm going to say, what a beautiful, fresh-looking fish. Look, I
Yeah.
love the blue on the,
Beautiful.
I mean, they're reds or pinkies, but the blue on the edge of the fins
It's
is
beautiful.
so nice.
Stunning, yeah.
That's a big fish.
Yeah.
That's
Great
a real big
work.
fish. Clara, nice.
World-class photos we get in Melbourne, don't we?
photo.
I reckon the next one's the best, though. Best photo, I reckon. Adam Samsa. Let's have a look at Adam's fish. 6.2 kilos.
It looks bigger
It
than
looks
that, doesn't
long,
it?
that one. Yeah.
That's
Well, look at the size of the tail on it.
that's a great
Yeah, you can
condition
see his
fish.
hand. There
Yeah.
you go. Wow.
There's been some good fish off that Black Rock, Sandringham
There has.
area.
Yep, there has.
You don't. We certainly don't see the quantities, but we have no idea because you don't.
Yeah, that's
people
right.
don't send their bags in. But the quality coming from that area is absolutely fantastic. I know the guys, Bo Morris Motor Yacht Squadron, are good sponsors of the show, and they're having a field day. Except for the blokes that got caught in the marine park this week. Not from the club, by the way, but got caught in the marine park. That's in Fisheries News later on. Have a look at this one. Frankston's also been firing up. All the charter guys working out of Paddo are all heading to that Frankston Seaford area now.
That's a good sign, actually.
Ron Fox, have a look at this. Ron, thanks for sending your photo in.
Ronnie,
Look at that.
5.4
good fish.
kg.
that's good. If the charter boat operators are heading that way, it means it's snapper season. Like
Yes.
they've spread
It's
out
on, yeah.
nicely.
Yeah.
It's go
Sitting
to
on
your
the
normal
reefs.
marks.
Yeah. So many people got so many marks if you look at their screens around. They just get hopped from reef to reef. The thing I was saying to a customer today in the shop though, they said, "Oh, where'd he go?" I said, "Well, these fish, Paul Hamer's given us the science. They move every day, don't they?
That's right.
Yep.
But they're not sitting still.
No.
They don't hang
They're
on
there to
reefs for days on
spawn,
end.
so-
Like grazing cattle, all out on the mud,
Yep.
having a chew, moving around.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. All right, let's keep going. Chris, he got a 79 centimetre snapper off Mount Eliza.
Ooh,
What's a
very-
silver
look
fish,
at that,
isn't it?
yes. You know.
Well done, Chris.
That might have been dead a little while.
Maybe.
Oh, it's possible, but
Yeah.
Or actually, no, the sun's hit it from. It was
Yeah,
actually
I
a good
reckon
day.
it's the
The
sun.
sun's hit it from underneath, I
that's
reckon.
a
Yeah.
big snapper.
Yeah,
It's a good fish.
Good fish. All right, let's head to our favourite little
Here we
spot
go.
that we like talking about. Lake Tyres, absolutely on fire. Bevan Emmett,
Good fish.
Wow. look at
81 centimetre flathead. Now, he's from the Bem River Angling Club. They held their comp at Lake Tyres. That's interesting, isn't it?
that. Yeah.
The lake, when it opened last week, dropped 1.6 metres in depth. Can you imagine 1.6 metres in depth by the the area of Lake
Spread, yeah.
Tyres? How much water ran out to sea?
Yeah, well,
Amazing.
Brett Getty gave us the breakdown on a little bit of an opening to a little bit more to 100 metres to
Yeah.
a kilometre.
Yeah.
Just kept opening.
Yeah.
It's good.
Now, I only saw a report yesterday, I didn't see today's, but they're saying that it's narrowed, but deep and absolutely flushing out. So
Wow.
that place is going to be... Yeah, we're not sure about the prawns either.
Yeah,
but
jury's
someone
on the
reported
prawns.
on the Lake Tyres page yesterday that there's a lot of prawns sitting in the sand. So where that water's disappeared, the prawns are being left, and they're alive. So there must be a lot of prawns in the system
We need
still.
we
might
almost,
be
it sounds-
good.
we almost need it to close.
Probably, yeah.
Anyway.
Let Trevally Alley
Trevally
just
Alley.
fire.
Well, Ellie, that's it.
All right, wouldn't be the same without one trout picture. Have a look at this Duncan Hyatt. Got a lovely brown trout at the pondage.
Stunning.
Brown trout, one of the
Stonker.
best looking fish you'll ever see.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
And some of those broodstock, they're just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Well
Good
done,
fish.
Duncan.
Brilliant, Duncan.
If you would like to send in a pick of your week, pick of your catch of the week like Duncan did, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pics to info@ifish.com.au. Fish on!
I wanna go fishing.
And coming up very shortly, fisheries news, including news about a boat ramp that's finally open. That's next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
We know what you'd rather be doing.
We know what you really got in mind.
We know you'd rather be out fishing. And today's the day you're gonna wet a line. 'Cause every day's a good day.
Stop wishing.
Every day's a chance to drift away. Drift away.
Every day's a good day for fishing. See it down and tackle world today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
Welcome back to Talking Fishing. Now, a bit of news. There's a fair bit of news this week, actually. Mick Conway has written to us. He's from the Corio Bay Angling Club over here. The red light's not working again. How good! I love the red light not working. You never know which camera to look at. Mick Conway is the president of the Corio Bay Angling Club. We're doing a fun day for the kids of the community to try fishing on Sunday, the 27th at St Helens in North Geelong. Yeah, there we go. Got a bit of a grab on the screen there. Starts at 10 o'clock, runs through till 2. And it's a great thing for the club. Come down and have a fish. All ages welcome. Gear and bait provided. Kids fish free. I don't know if they're going to charge the adults. No. It's a free event. Get down there. Great club. Well done, Mick and Angela down there, who's the event manager. Corio Bay Anglers Club. Good to see those events.
Love
for
it.
sure.
Good work.
Yeah. All right, next one. The old Ricketts Point Marine Park.
Oh, that old chestnut.
Wasn't there a video of 30 boats in there, all get sprung, all got fines and all that? You reckon people would learn?
Yeah.
But listen to this. We know most recreational fishers do the right thing and stay out of the marine parks when wetting a line. However, last week, a group of 5 men were found inside the Ricketts Point Marine Sanctuary at Black Rock with 22 snapper. Fisheries officers were alerted to the fishers by several phone calls to our 13 Fish illegal fishing service and were able to attend the scene just on dusk. Officers seized all 22 snapper, that's so sad, on the spot, and each of the men received a $740 infringement notice for taking fish from a protected area. To avoid that situation altogether, next time you go for a fish, just download our free Vic Fishing app and use the Can I Fish Here function. It uses the GPS in your phone to keep you out of the marine parks and in areas where you can take home a delicious feed of fresh fish to family and friends. I'm tipping those guys couldn't give a flying about the app. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no, I reckon
They knew what they were doing.
Of course they did. And unfortunately, it's probably one of those marine parks where there is actually a lot of fish in there.
they would be for sure.
People need to understand, we're very, very lucky with marine parks here in Victoria. We have these little small ones. I don't agree with them, but they're small. You go to Queensland, whole areas are locked out. Go to New South Wales, whole areas are locked out. We just got to respect them and live with them. And anyway.
Plenty of fishable water that isn't there.
Absolutely, there is. Yeah. All right, the next one. Upgrade works are continuing at Cape Conran Boat Ramp is the headline. The project remains on track to be completed ahead of Christmas holidays, at which point, the ramp will reopen to boaters. An extension to the jetty alongside the ramp, let's have a look at it, is almost complete. An access ladder and rubber fenders are yet to be installed and the existing structure will be joined to the new addition. There's a bit of a, what do they call it? I don't know. It's surrounded by rocks and trying to get the water out where they work there. The remaining concrete boat ramp panels will be laid down this week with construction of the new apron at the top of the ramp expected to start next week. In the meantime, boaters can head offshore via Lakes Entrance to the west or Malacco to the east of the Cape Conran ramp. Keep an eye on the boating Vic app. You'll be able to see when that one opens.
That'll be a good one.
That will be a good one. Yeah. Well, hopefully the weather settles a little bit.
It has to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It has to.
Do you know what's going to be hard this year? People going camping for Christmas. Some of those caravan... Where Tiff Newton and Matt used to manage in Moama.
Yep.
Like that went under.
Yeah, it's...
The people of Yea, or just, is it Yea? You go out of Yea, Molesworth.
Yeah, Molesworth, yeah.
All those caravans that are on site with those permanent annexes all went under. Like, they're not going to be livable this Christmas. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, it's no good.
But anyway, places like that, they're going to be under pressure. A lot of people going. All right, next one. Boating access. Here we go. Boating access has been restored at Lake Bullen-Merai's South Beach boat ramp with upgrades complete and the ramp once again open. Have a look at this picture. I think we've got that. Construction saw the old ramp replaced with grooved concrete panels and a central pontoon installed for boaters to tie up to. An underwater retaining wall, although it's sticking out of the water, but it goes underwater, has been built to provide some protection from waves and reduce the sediment building up at the base of the ramp. A new concrete approach and turning circle. Have a look at that.
It's a bit fancy.
It's the fanciest, comes with speed bumps and all. The fanciest boat ramp in Bullen-Merai, I can tell you. Well done to Corangamite Shire Council and the South Beach Foreshore Committee of Management, who have managed the whole project. It's up and ready and running. Go down there. There was an algal bloom at Bullen-Merai.
I think it's still going on, so just...
Is it?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Check before you go.
Probably donate the fish if you catch them. Because you'll end
not
up crooker
ideal.
than you.
Yeah.
You had COVID last episode.
I did, but I'm back.
It doesn't exist
back.
anymore, Niki.
I'm back.
You're probably going to give it
Sure,
to
it
us
just
right
wasn't
now.
cold.
Wow.
Have you had 3 days of quarantine? You're right.
I've had 5 days of
5 days.
quarantine, thank you very much. So
Just testing. Well done.
Many people are probably saying right now, did you give it to the guests that were sitting next to you last
Who
week?
knows?
You did.
That's right.
I don't
Who
think you did.
knows?
I don't think you did.
did he give it to me? Well,
Yeah. Oh, we should roll with that.
Oh dear. Hey, have a look at this, right? Have a look at this. 8 new berthing spots are now available to boaters following the completion of jetty upgrade works at Barrier Landing near Lakes Entrance. You can't tell me there's not going to be like so many boats tied up New Year's Eve there and the beers won't be going.
Yeah, that's true.
Improvements consisted of a 12-metre long extension to the outer jetty finger where a new pontoon and gangway was also installed. An existing pontoon and gangway was relocated to the finger closer to the shore, which was also lengthened by 3 metres. On the eastern side of the structure, the fixed jetty head was almost doubled in length thanks to a 12-metre extension. Solar lights and CCTV have also been installed to ensure a safe experience for users and to record what goes on New Year's Eve. No, it doesn't really say that. But how good is that as a bit of infrastructure for boaters?
That looks like a very serious
You'll
upgrade.
be able to go there, like all those people that have bigger boats but launch them and want to go and stay a night.
Yep.
They can go and tie up to that at Lakes Entrance
Beautiful.
or in Gippy Lakes and enjoy some bream, enjoy some flathead, soon to be enjoying oysters straight out of the wraps.
That's going to be
not
pretty good,
long.
actually, isn't it?
It's going to be good. Anyway, that's all the news. Bullen-Merai, let's talk a little bit more about... Look, one of the things I don't get is a lot of people talk about Purrumbete more than Bullen-Merai, and I reckon I've fished both, so have you.
Yep.
I love Bullen-Merai a little bit more. It's... I don't know. Have you fished them, Niki?
I've fished both. I'm more so Bullen-Merai, but I think
It's got that more cratery feel about
Yeah.
it.
And you know why I like Bullen-Merai more? It's smaller, so it's easier to find the fish.
it's pretty deep.
It's a tough fishery. It really is.
But it's a challenge. And have you caught anything other than a Chinook salmon there?
I've never caught a Chinook salmon from there. I've only caught trout.
Have you really?
I've done a bit of both.
I've only ever caught
trolling,
Chinook
but
salmon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I must admit, when there was that little patch where the Chinooks
were tough.
Correct.
Yeah. Or in fact, they had trouble breeding them at
breeding
Sox
them,
Creek.
and that was pretty much when. And it was a really weird system because you'd catch fish first thing in the morning, regardless of the weather, and as soon as that sun got high, give it that 10:30.
Yep.
Yep.
Over.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we'd pack up and go to Purrumbete.
Good nighttime fishing there too, land-based.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yep. Drop
For
a,
The guys do
trout
really
and
well at
all
the
that?
angling club.
yep.
Yep.
We used to drop a couple of
Big
bait nets
trout.
in, bait traps in
get
at
some
the old
bullhead.
jetty.
Yep.
Get some bullhead or some little
Yep.
those little gudgeons smelt, and yeah, they were good. Put them out under floats.
Niki, you were saying your club goes up there and
Yeah.
you stay on the banks of the thing.
We stay at the angling club, so it's a great little angling club there. So highly recommend.
Where do you
it.
sleep?
Well, I normally sleep in a swag outside. The guys snore a bit too loud inside. So
Niki, you realise the cameras are rolling?
yeah, I don't mind. I'll tell them to their face. But no, it's a beautiful place. So
It is a
recommend
good
it.
spot.
Can you stay in the angling club rooms though?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yep, they've got showers and toilets and.
I rocked up there
kitchens.
once and I reckon there was a comp on and they had all their caravans out the front. Everyone was staying there. What a place.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's unique. Actually, I remember we were on a charter out of Canada, Victoria in Canada, and we were going for wild Chinook salmon. And I said to the guy, we got this extinct volcano back in Australia where we catch Chinook salmon. He just looked at me weird, like going, what?
Yeah, how?
How do you explain that? An
Yeah.
extinct volcano. We breed Chinook salmon down in the southern hemisphere at a Snobs Creek hatchery.
It's the only place that
and then stock them into the
supports them.
volcano.
Yeah,
It's
it's one of
a-
the fastest growing, I think, for Chinooks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
And there was
a
a
lot of
huge
food in there.
Chinook that come out of Parambeat last week, 11
Oh,
pounder
I
or
did
something.
see
see
that.
that. Yeah,
It was
I did see that.
massive.
It was a
Really?
beast. Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been working too hard. I'm not up with social media, but anyway. What have we got coming up? Coming up next, product of the week. And Kara's back, and I'll tell you what, I've seen it.
Can't wait.
Wow,
I'm
that's
looking forward
next
to
on
this.
Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Welcome back to Talking Fishing. Product of the week time, and I want to talk to you about electric motors, in particular the GeoSpot electric motor by Watersnake, and it is an absolute pearler. We have covered it on this show before, but there's a new addition to it that I think is really important and a must-have if you already own a GeoSpot motor or you're looking to get one, and that is that of the nav sensor, which you see down the bottom. This changes the game when it comes to your electric motor. It adds 3 key functions, one of which, when you hit the spot lock function, which is essentially your anchor, that sensor that sits at the back of your boat talks to the heading sensor on the front of the motor, and as soon as that back end of the boat starts to swing, it auto-corrects. So no more do you hit spot lock and all of a sudden you're drifting off within your 1.5 metres or whatever it is away from the actual spot. You hit the button and you stay there stationary. I've seen this function and actually used it in the setting of whiting fishing in Western Port. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
If you want to sand hop around whiting holes with the plan of moving quickly, it's silent. There is no anchor hitting the water, nothing. And it's so easy to do, as well as
So
using
that
it.
sensor sits at the back of your
You
boat.
mount it at the back and it talks to the actual electric motor, which is mounted at the front.
That's quite
So the
smart.
second the back tries to swing and move, it tells the motor what's happening and it will auto-correct to keep you stationary.
Because the
It is
older
a
models
game
don't know,
changer.
do they?
That's right,
They don't
they
know
don't.
back from front. So,
So it's a game changer. And another issue you used to have with the old system, because the motor would do its thing and try and keep you in one spot, every time you're trying to move, it would try and counteract and would twist the cable. This now eliminates that from happening as well. It also adds a jog function. Now this is one I did have to research, and Cal, shout out to you because you brought me up to speed with this. You can set and tell your electric motor to move, whether it's forward, back, left or right, in 1.5 metre increments.
No way.
wow.
So if you want to move, if you're up in an estuary somewhere and you're sitting on snag A, and you've got a couple of snags up further, you can just hit a button and it'll automatically just jump you to the next spot. And that's all because of this nav sensor. So if you have a GeoSpot motor or you're thinking of getting one, which I highly recommend you do, a nav sensor is a no-brainer. Just just say yes.
Yep.
It makes a world of difference. And if you're a bit concerned about the size of your boat, a Gyrospot comes with 3 different lengths in shaft length. So regardless of the size of your boat, you can find a Gyrospot motor that's going to suit. And it does change the way you fish for the better. We've spoken about sounders and electronics. Electric motors, with what they can do these days, it can almost be as important as your actual main motor.
Yeah.
If you're a lure fisherman, or like I use the widening example in Western Port or Port Phillip Bay, it changes everything. It really does. I can't speak highly enough of them, and Gyrospot are now well and truly in the game. And if you haven't sussed them out and you're thinking about going down that path, hop into your local, ask a few questions and have a look. It does change the way you fish for the better.
I've got a question for you, because you've been using electric motors a lot more than I have, and for a lot longer. I've only ever had the little remote control in the hand.
Yep.
People still want the old foot pedal.
Yes, I would almost prefer it.
Why?
Because if you're casting at something specific, you're still taking a hand off the rod to use a remote control.
Yep.
So you can essentially fish anywhere you want to and still be in complete 100% control of the boat at all times just by using your foot.
Yeah.
It still has a place. I still think it's more important than a remote control. But if that is still a little bit difficult, because it does take some getting used to, it's not a natural thing to do, the remote is gold. If you're spot locking in Western Port, you don't need foot control.
Yeah.
You can control it with the remote, left, right. You can adjust the speed, hit anchor and you stop. It's beautiful. But if you do any sort of estuary fishing where you're casting consistently, I would still run a foot pedal. 100%.
There you go. People still want them.
Yeah,
and not all motors
Yeah,
come with
I
them
know
now.
plenty.
You got to buy them as
As an accessory.
So-
Yeah, that's right. But they are worth having.
Yeah, there
In
you
my
go.
opinion, they're worth having anyway.
All right, there you go. All right, as I said earlier on, Cara is back in the kitchen. I'll tell you what, she's cooked up a treat, and you just, when you see the end product, you'll go, yum, oh. Let's have a look at this.
This week's recipe is a little Mexican inspired. We're going to make some fish enchiladas. I've got a lovely piece of rockling fillet and a few fresh and simple ingredients. To get started, we're going to dice the rockling fillet. Just going to slice these into approximately 3 centimetre cubes. Now you could use other fish for this. Snapper would work really well. You don't need to be too accurate, just so that they're roughly the same size. Okay, into a bowl. And then we're going to give these a light seasoning with some salt and pepper. Now to go with our fish, I've diced up some red capsicum and some fresh coriander. You can substitute that for parsley if you prefer. And also going to add in some spring onions. So just finely chopping these. Okay, I'm going to add all of this in. We'll give that a good toss through. Colours are lovely and vibrant. Now to complete our mix, I'm going to add some sour cream. Got some mayonnaise and also some shredded grated cheese. I've got a mix here of tasty mozzarella, there's some parmesan, anything that's lovely and melty. We're going to stir that through. Beautiful colours with the reds and the greens. Now this is our base for our enchiladas. For the fun part of building our enchiladas, so I'm using these soft tortillas. These are a flour one, but you can easily use the corn as well. Now we're just going to scoop some of our mix, place it into the centre, and literally we're just going to roll that. Now we're going to pick that up and then seam side down, place it into a little dish, and we're just going to repeat this process. Now our enchiladas are nice and snug in here. To top this off, we're going to add a green salsa verde or an enchilada sauce, and this one's made with green tomatoes. We're just going to be very generous and pour that over the top. And then to finish that off, we're going to sprinkle some of our tasty cheese mix. We're going to pop this into a preheated oven, 180 degrees, for roughly 30 to 45 minutes. Well, our enchiladas have been in the oven for 40 minutes. They look absolutely gorgeous. They're crispy. We've got beautiful golden crunchy cheese on top. They're going to be spectacular.
They don't leave our mics on during that, do they?
I hope not.
I don't think they do. Maybe on Facebook sometimes.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
You can't put sour cream in the oven, can you?
Yes, you can.
Well,
Bit
do
of
you know what?
cream.
You said exactly the same thing as I did when I saw that during the day, right? Where that was raw fish going in, and I thought, well, surely all those ingredients, that sour
Yeah.
cream and everything, you're not going to bake it. But you looked at the finished
It looks
product.
amazing.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I said to you, have a look at the green stuff that's about to go on, and I said, what do you think it is? What did you say?
It's
can't swear.
It's salsa verde.
Green tomato stuff that looks like. No, you're not going to say no, But anyway, amazing. Hey, just a quick one through on the text message. G'day, mate. Mick from Victorian Inland Charters just wrote to us then. Just seen the show was on, thought I'd send you a quick report. Bull and Merri now open. Yep, fished there last Thursday after the opening. The fishing was insane. 20 Chinook salmon caught trolling, bait fishing, as well with pillies up to 66 centimetres, 3.2 kilos.
Nice.
Also, Lake Purrumbete is going awesome for trout and redfin on charters. Trout to 8 pound caught on charters. A mate also caught a salmon to 5.02 kilos.
That was a big 11 pounder.
So,
Yeah, nice.
I'll tell you what, if you haven't got a boat and you haven't got that capacity to get onto either of those lakes, Purrumbete or Bull and Merri, give Mick a call. Can I get his number? I don't even know how I can get it
You
here.
can find him on Facebook.
0402 347 515. I'm sure you can wind that back. 0402 347 515. Get on with Mick and go and catch yourself some of those beautiful fish
awesome.
of those two lakes. It's absolutely awesome. Running off the old paper models tonight.
Yeah.
Coming up next, Kramer's mailbag, and we're going to have a look at the Liberal Party election commitments next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Welcome back to Talking Fishing. A little bit short-staffed tonight, we should say, because you had COVID, not related. You had COVID last week, or in between, and our other staff that should be in the studio with us tonight have got COVID, so we're on a short crew, and we may have been live during an ad break on Facebook.
It's always our most popular segment.
Things aren't working, so and a segment coming up shortly, the Liberal Party policy. Niki, you're going to read it out to us because we can't see it.
I'll do my best.
But let's get into mailbag. There's a couple of crackers. This is a good one. This is from Mark. Hi, Kramer. I don't know, red lights aren't working again. Hi, Kramer. I've been trying to determine whether the new boat ramp upgrade at Lake Bull and Merri has been completed and reopened to the public yet. Checked on Boating Vic app, Bull and Merri Road ramp still closed. Can you shed any light on this, please? Well, we did that in Fisheries News. It's now open. One thing I would like to mention is that on the Boating Vic app, it mentions that both the Lake Bull and Merri Angling Club ramp is open, as well as the ramp off Sadler's Road. Both ramps do not enter the water, and the ramp at Sadler's Road has a drop of an estimated 1.5 metres to the water, and has been this way for approximately 10 years. So I'm not sure how these two ramps should be classified as open for use. Let's have a look at these two ramps. Look at the first one. If we can get that up. We're doing well tonight. That's open. Clearly it's open.
Technically it's open.
It's technically.
You can't use it.
You just wouldn't be able to do that. Anyway, but according to the Boating Vic apps, so someone needs to upgrade that.
They're those new grass speed bumps at the end.
Let's have a look at the next one. Oh, that's definitely open. Someone did an almighty sneeze behind the camera there. Oh, I don't know if you picked that up at home, but that's definitely open if you want to launch on the grass.
Yeah.
So
if you go, I find if you reverse down fast enough, you can clearly
Enough
launch your
momentum,
boat.
hold on.
At least they've got looks like a floating
photo.
pontoon
It's technically
there, though, to
open.
tie up to if you can launch
Yeah,
them.
technically open.
Anyway, hey, thanks for pointing that out, Mark, because some of these things don't get fixed if we don't report them through Talking Fishing. All right, this was one from a couple of weeks ago where Giorgio rang. He wrote to us. Can you please inquire with the relevant people to ask whether lights are going to be added onto the new pontoon at Hastings? Great question. If you want to get an answer out of the council, it's about an 8-month wait. So what we did is we went to Don.
Donnie will know.
Don,
yes.
He's the mayor of Hastings Boat Ramp. And I just simply said, Don, is there lights on the old pontoon? Is there going to be any on the new one? Don writes back, hi, Giorgio. Yes, addressed it to Giorgio.
Good on you, Donnie.
There are solar-powered lights on the old pontoon, but they rarely work. Sometimes intermittent flash of light from some of them. I spoke with Chris Lynn from the Mornington Peninsula Shire on Tuesday morning, that was last week, about lighting on the new pontoon, and he said that they will be added, not sure of the timing. He also said that the old pontoon lighting will be fixed or replaced at the same time. Hope this clarifies for you. So you would hope that at the speed of the council, that'll be done by next snapper season. We'll have lights on the pontoon. What do you reckon? Reckon they can do that?
Yeah, they might close it down at the start of snapper season to put the lights in.
Put the lights on. All right, now, I'm not going to read this one out.
Why not? Is it good?
Oh, no.
Can I have a look?
Well, you can if you want.
You
do
keep
you want to
talking.
read it out?
You keep talking.
Well, we got a little bit of mail from last week's show.
A little bit?
Yeah, and I just don't get, I mean, people wrote to us saying, why would you get Daniel Andrews, over here, why would you get Daniel Andrews on the program? Well, you're obviously not long-term watchers, because the 2018 election, we had them on, both Daniel Andrews 1 week, Matthew Guy the other. 2014, we were only 4 weeks into the program, into the whole show. That was 197 episodes ago, and 8 years ago. We had them on the show. So all you people that go, why would you get a politician on? The reason we get a politician on is because fishing has some serious consequences after elections that actually do a lot for fishing during the next 4 years. And we're not a fishing show like Rex Hunt or iFish or any of the other ones. We deliver you guys information and news. And if you can't tell me that $96 million in announcements is not news, then seriously, go and watch some of the other shows. We're going to give you the best news. If you want to watch us, that's what you're going to have to watch. And anyway, that's one of them. One of hundreds. I thought that was the politest.
Yeah, and I think the underlying thing here that what David's saying in this Kramer's mailbag is the fact that along with all of those announcements, it was the same government that banned fishing during a pandemic.
Correct. Yep.
And also,
and I was also the biggest
shut down
critic of that.
That's right, 100%. And I'm not denying that. I think where a lot of this is coming, a lot of this mail's coming from, we understand that fully. We live through it. We do work in businesses that were also shut down through that pandemic.
Yep.
We understand. But the point of the segment was to outline the current policies going into this election that we're voting for this weekend.
For fishing and boating only, and we can't plan the content around people's political beliefs.
Well, that's not what it was intended to do.
The content is about fishing and boating.
Yep, that's right.
Absolutely. So,
but David, I understand reading your mailbag. I understand what you're saying. Unfortunately, we lived through it too. We weren't working because we worked in tackle shops that were also shut down 100%. But the point of having Daniel on was to just cover what was going to be promised in the next election if he was to get re-elected. It's up to us whether he does get re-elected or not.
I'm still affected by the lockdown, to be honest. Because we bought a COVID cat. I get woken up at 2:30 every morning of my life now because we bought a COVID cat. So there are consequences for that. But in all seriousness, a lot of people are going, well, what about the Liberal one? If you're expecting Matthew Guy on the program tonight, A, we didn't get a response, but B, if you're watching the other channel just before, he's actually on a live debate with Daniel Andrews on Sky News. You're not going to get him on a fishing show this week, and we had no idea that Sky News debate was going to happen around the same time. Obviously, people didn't watch the show 4 weeks ago, but we did the Liberal policy 4 weeks ago when it was announced, and they chose to do a soft announcement. So for those people that want to see that policy that weren't watching 4 weeks ago, we're going to do it again for you. Now, Niki, the technical
I've got
problems
some
tonight.
notes, but if you bring it up on the screen, I can...
we can bring it up. Okay, we'll bring it up on the screen,
Yep.
but we haven't actually got a copy. So if you want to...
Yeah, sure.
What's the first one?
The first one's to put 100% of fishing and boating fees back into facilities, river ecosystems and stocking. So that's
good.
number one.
Yep.
Number two, we've got centralising of Western Port and Port Phillip Bay ramps.
That's a huge one, by the way.
Yeah, that's a pretty big thing and something that we're probably all
That's a huge
That's
one.
got to happen.
Yeah,
That's a
that'd be
huge-
That
great.
has absolutely got to happen. And for people that follow some of the local newspapers down on the peninsula, I actually wrote an article praising the Liberal Party for that announcement because there is so much inconsistency. If we can leave that up on the screen for a couple of minutes, guys, out the back, there is so much inconsistency in managing boat ramps around Port Phillip and Western Port. There's something like 20 different managers, like Melbourne Water, local councils, committees of management. This would get rid of all that and make it really just one, I guess, standard of managing.
Yeah,
So
we want
like
consistency. So that's a really good one. Next, we've got up to $5 million for regional council boat ramps fund, so to match regional councils and more boat ramp maintenance. And so that's number 3. Number 4, we've got a $1 million commitment to review fish stocking and their effectiveness. And number 5 is a $30 million habitat for platypus and fish habitat restoration plan, and all funds, I should say. So they're the 5 commitments they've given us.
That number 5, I asked Bill Tilley, because he's the opposition spokesperson for fishing and boating, why is platypus in a fishing policy? And he said that was the National Party's contribution to it, that they wanted that. And God help us if DELP get their hands on that, because what we'll get is $29.9 million for platypus and about $100,000 for fish. We just got to be really, really careful if that gets up. So they're yelling at me I didn't wrap up mailbag. If you'd like to write into Kramer's mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
And coming up next, the all-important hotspots. That's next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron is a trailer boat and social club on Port Phillip Bay. The club has a great range of facilities, including multiple boat ramps, ample car and trailer parking, boat wash and fish cleaning, fishing competitions and boat safety lectures, boating activities and club events, a restaurant and 2 bars. Easy launch and retrieval makes for a relaxing time on the water for you, your family and friends to enjoy. And boating memberships are now available. The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, the best trailer boat experience on the bay.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots, brought to you by the Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, Melbourne's premier trailer boat club.
Welcome back to Talking Fishing, the all-important hotspots, and I think finally we've actually got some good weather on Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
For a full day or just a window?
I think
the
all day
weather's
Friday.
okay. I mean, still some showers
A
around.
little bit of blow on Saturday and all right on Sunday, I think. So
Yeah, we'll take that.
and I think 24 on Sunday. So anyway, might get a little bit of, and then it goes to you're not allowed to say that
Yeah,
word.
that's-
I'll be on the Gold
goes
Coast.
pear-shaped.
Don't care.
Ads, rub it in. All right, the first one. All the charter guys are heading there. Don't follow them; they hate that. But anyway, or, you can see where they're fishing. Frankston snapper. That's the first hot spot. Plenty of good fish coming from about 18 metres off Frankston.
Yes, good thing about Frankston, you can basically sound fish anywhere from 12 to 18 metres, but yeah, they still seem to be a little bit deeper, which
Yeah.
is probably a sign of fluctuating water temps.
Yep. We talk to Joe Farr every week on our radio program on
do.
3MP, and he's still fishing in the dirty water, God knows how, still catching good fish.
He's a
and he loves it.
he's a fish magnet.
He's a
Joe
fish
Farr.
magnet. But if you want to get away from the dirty water, the Pinnis Channel, I'm told, is crystal clear at the moment, and some very good King George whiting. Get out into the deeper part of the Pinnis in about 5 to 6 metres of water, fishing very, very well. You've got to have a bit of, I don't know what it is, you just got to have a bit of pippy on your bait.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit of a combo.
Yeah, sometimes when they're really on fire, and I just don't think we've got that water temperature yet that's firing the fish as they should be. So you just need that bit of enticement, bit of calamari strip, but a bit of pippy on the end. Got to have that as well. So, over in Western Port, the best part about snapper season is the King George whiting are on the middle spit. That's the next hotspot. Some good fish.
Top of the spit there.
A couple of 50+ centimetres caught.
Yeah. Well, we saw a 47 in catch of the week. We saw a 1 kilo, 1.02.
Was that a few weeks ago?
Yeah, it was. So this season, we've already seen some giant whiting.
Yeah. And whiting, as we know, they won't leave the bay till winter.
Yeah, that's right.
So they'll grow 2 or 3 centimetres during summer and from now till about April. So I'll tell you what, there's going to be some big fish, some very big King George whiting caught in Western Port before the season's upon us. Snapper, you cannot go past silver leaves. Excuse me, people fishing off Phillip Island there. You can access it through Hastings, Stony Point if you want, or Coronella.
Yep.
But some great fish coming from Silver Leaves.
Yep. Still the best spot in
Have
the
you
port,
fished there, Ads?
I've never fished at Silver Leaves.
No, I'm tipping you haven't either.
Only once,
Niki.
but we didn't get any snapper. So
yeah.
But
it's
this
one
is
of
the
those
week
spots.
obviously.
It's firing.
Yep. And then let's go inland. I'll tell you what, if you want to have a great weekend, go and stay at the little motel, the little dodgy joint that's not dodgy, it's very nice, in Camperdown.
You're really selling it to us there, Dave.
I can't wait to go there.
In fact, I reckon they all look old-fashioned and dodgy in Camperdown.
Yeah, but they're lovely people in Camperdown.
They're beautiful people and great motels there. And then when you're staying in Camperdown, go to Lake Bull and Merri. It's the next hotspot. So there you go. Couple of hours from Melbourne.
Yep. Canfish land base too. It is a beautiful big open crater with nice rocky edges on some side. Yep. Burley up.
Yep.
And the other place that's absolutely on fire is Devil Bend Reservoir for estuary perch. We've had a lot of rain. Edges are a bit wet. That doesn't matter.
It's all right.
It's sitting at a great level. It's crystal clear, and the estuary perch are on fire.
Yeah, Andrew Kettler's been doing really well down there. I think he's featured on the show numerous times over the course of the season. Again, beautiful land-based. If the weather's still a bit dodgy, just put aside a couple of hours and you'll get some EPs.
What lures would we be talking? Surface stuff? Or
no, I wouldn't hit top water yet. I think it's still probably a little bit cool.
Yep.
But anything that's sort of going to sit, well, a lot of that weed now is going to be subsurface. That stuff we were getting tangled up in for so long. So ultra shallow divers or even small spoons, you can sink them down and just basically flat wind them along the weed edges, and that's where the perch will be.
Okay.
A little bit of a sad news for people that know I'm looking so tired because there's a closing down sale at Tackle World Cramond and Mornington.
There is.
I'm not pushing that. I'm just saying, or Tackle World Cramond. It's an iconic store. It's been there 33 years, I think.
Yep.
And it's closing down. It's going to change the landscape of fishing tackle shops, isn't it?
It will. It's a landmark store. It's a destination store. I was lucky enough to practically grow up working in that store.
How old were you when you started there?
22.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe 21.
Getting old,
maybe. Yeah,
I know how long you were there.
Yeah, that's right. But no, a great shop. All the best to Paul and Christy. All the best to all the staff as well, both past and present. Dave, we had an absolute ball
I've done
at that
12
place.
years.
You're
I've
still
done
going.
I'm still going.
So you get to see the craziness of the shutdown.
Yeah.
But mate, congratulations to you
it's kind of a celebration of not all good things come to an end. I guess that's the motto there. And
they do.
It's been one hell of a journey, and Paul's decided that's the way out is to go end of an era. It's over and time to change.
Yep.
Change your lifestyle. So iFish will continue on. That's his full-time job, so that's good. Niki, you were asking about kingfish.
Yeah, what do you think's going to happen with the kingies?
If you look at the graphs of we've got to wind up very quickly, they're yelling at us. You look at the graphs of water temperature, they're up and down. I reckon there's been a bit of a cold current come down, but also all this rain's contributing. So I just think we need some consistency in the water temperature, but we also need to spike into 19.5 to 20, and they'll come.
Will the new reef come into play this season?
Absolutely it will.
Yeah.
Corey Green's going to try and get some cameras down there. That's it for Talking Fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. Like we said, we might actually have some decent weather towards the end of the week. Certainly Friday, Saturday maybe a bit blowy, Sunday good weather again. So make sure you get out and enjoy it, because I tell you what, any minute now it's going to be the Christmas rush and you're not going to get out fishing. Until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.